It was a regular domestic flight from Houston to New York. Flight 8-7 had just taken off. Seemed normal. Passengers were settling in. Air hostesses were serving drinks, and the cockpit was calm. Among the passengers sat Samantha, a 21-year-old aviation student wearing a red pilot training uniform. She was traveling to New York to attend an interview with a regional airline. No one on board knew she was studying aviation. She looked too young, too quiet, and too ordinary. The air hostesses treated her like just another nervous young girl. Need help with the seatbelt? One hostess joked while passing by. Samantha smiled politely, hiding the years she had spent in studying aircraft systems and flying under pressure. But none of them knew. Today, she would be tested in the real sky. Midway through the flight, turbulence hit. Nothing unusual at first, but then the unthinkable happened. The main pilot, Captain Harris, suddenly slumped over the controls. His co-pilot yelled, "We need help." But before he could act, E2 fell unconscious. A sudden oxygen imbalance had affected both of them. Alarms blared. The cockpit was now silent. The plane dipped slightly, and panic spread among the crew. Air hostesses rushed to the cockpit and screamed, "We have no pilot." One of them shouted. Samantha overheard and stood up. "I'm a pilot in training," she said calmly. "I can fly this plane." The lead hostess snapped, "This is not a toy plane. Sit down." But the passengers were screaming. Children were crying. An old woman fainted. And Samantha knew if she didn't do something, they were all going down. Samantha pushed through the aisle toward the cockpit. The hostesses tried to block her. "You can't do this. You're just a girl." The passenger. Samantha locked eyes with the angry hostess. "I know this plane. I know the systems. You have no choice." Inside, the instruments blinked, and the cockpit was hot. She took a breath, remembered her training, and sat down in the pilot's chair. Her hands didn't shake. She grabbed the radio, contacted air traffic control. "This is Flight 8-7. Both pilots are down. This is Samantha Reed, student pilot. I'm taking control." The voice on the other end paused. "Copy that. Samantha, we're with you." She adjusted the altitude. The plane was nosediving slightly, and the passengers screamed as oxygen masks dropped. Her fingers danced over the controls. Flaps, rudder, pitch, altitude. Sweat dripped down her neck, but her eyes never blinked. Air traffic control guided her through stabilizing the aircraft. "You're doing good, Samantha. Just keep calm." But then, another challenge. The landing gear system was jammed. She would need to land manually. Samantha whispered to herself, "If I didn't come this far to give up." Below, emergency crews lined the New York runway. News had already spread. A young girl trying to land a jet after both pilots collapse. Passengers held hands. Flight attendants prayed. The plane began descent. Samantha's voice came through the intercom. "This is Samantha. I'll get you home. Just stay calm." She lined up the aircraft with the runway. Her hands gripped the yoke. The plane touched down. It bounced slightly, then smooth. The wheels screamed, brakes kicked in, and the aircraft came to a full stop. A moment of silence, then thunderous applause. The cabin erupted. People cried. Some just stared at her in disbelief. The same hostess who had told her "you can't" now stood frozen. Emergency responders ran on board. Samantha stood up, still calm, her uniform drenched in sweat. "She saved us," one passenger cried. "She's a hero," shouted another. TV cameras swarmed the airport, and the headlines the next day read, "Young woman saves flight 8, aviation student lands plane alone." Later, when Samantha walked into her interview, the airline CEO shook her hand and said, "You've already passed your test. Welcome to the skies."